Well, now, there seemed to be quite a bit of communication in one of the scenes there. That's a rather torrid love scene, as I understand it. Now, this apparently is going to make some kind of a first, or is going to prove to be a measure of controversy. For the first time, I think, in a big film, we have a Negro and a white girl. What's your reaction to that, and what do you think about it?
Well, actually, my reaction's twofold. First of all, it is the first time that a major studio in America has produced a film wherein a black man and a white woman makes love. This is a step that had to be taken. I'm happy that maybe I'm the one that has taken it. For the standpoint of the general public and the industry, I'm happy about it. From my own personal views, it really doesn't mean a thing to me. I like people as individuals, and I don't take any particular pride as an individual in being able to make any breakthroughs like that, because I think in life you find these situations, and it's not anything really new, astounding, or shocking. But on the other hand, as I said, for the general public who hasn't really seen it, for the studios who probably feel that they're taking a great step, I can understand that and respect it.
Do you think it's going to be a...
The evidence collected by the staff of MARC, the Metropolitan Applied Research Center, in regard to the crisis of Franklin K. Lane High School and Canarsie High School leads to the conclusion that the major human, educational, and legal questions posed are to be understood not primarily in terms of student disruptions and violence, but in terms of flagrant and knowing violations of the legal and human rights of Negro and Puerto Rican students in these schools. These discharges and transfers of these students have occurred without any semblance of due process and in clear violation of the New York State educational laws and the rules and regulations of the Board of Education itself. These students were not given a hearing before being discharged or transferred. Their parents were not consulted before they were discharged or transferred. Most of the children have been out of school since the parents were informed that they were being transferred or discharged at the end of January. No educational provisions have been made for most of them, and the alleged educational provisions that have been made for some of them seem to be totally unacceptable. Morrison is not by any means among the most overcrowded high schools in New York City. And second, we do not believe that the rights of individuals can be ignored and trampled because of other social problems. That's my simple answer. First, that Franklin K. Lane High School is among the least overcrowded high schools in New York City. And the question of the proportion of Negro youngsters in that high school, in no way, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm merely a psychologist who worked with lawyers, and I can answer the legal part of this, but in terms of the human part, the rights of an individual are personal and individual and cannot be ignored because the bureaucracy seeks to solve some other problem. And that's why we're here. Right? Officials and bureaucrats to disregard individual rights on the grounds that we are in a period of crisis.
Well, more specifically, with one disorder, for instance.
That we do have laws, we do have procedures and processes by which an individual who disturbs or disrupts something is dealt with as an individual. We are not addressing ourselves to how this society deals with an individual who disturbs a social or an institutional process. We are addressing ourselves to a situation in which a very important institution, the educational institution, has disregarded the rights of large numbers of individuals. I think it would be a mistake if in the police, in the schools, seems to us one way to protect privileged people and to ignore flagrant, observed violation of the rights of people who are not considered privileged. And my answer is based upon the considerable evidence as far as Canarsie is concerned. This child happened to have gone to Canarsie. The behavior of the police in Canarsie was not to protect all of the citizens and all of the students there, but apparently to protect the teachers, but to ignore assaults on the Negro and Puerto Rican students, where the parents there had to take upon themselves the responsibility of trying to protect their children.
Well, all of those are violations of law. All of those are violations of law which would be made part of a complaint that is filed in federal court.
So you intend to argue this on the basis of the denial of due process and the 14th Amendment?
That's correct.
Can you cite legal precedents for this?
Brown?
Yes.
What are you going to use?
All right.
Well, during the civil
Counsel